With everything we've done thus far in Project 6, the 2 tables we've created and 2 queries we created, it's now time to put those together and create one of the 2 reports we're going to create for this project. Both of them put together similarly, but obviously there's some subtle differences. The first idea to create a report is click on the Create tab and go under Report Design. It may look similar to a previous project we did with creating a report, and some of the things are in essence the same. I'm going to bring up the property sheet and go under Record Source and choose what we want our record source to be. In this case, I want to select the Business and Analyst Client query we have in our list. And then once I get that selected, I can actually close that. We'll come back and use that later for something else. I'm going to add a group down here. The group I'm going to add is Business Analyst, and I'm going to add a sort, which is Client Number. Okay, once we have those 2 items down there, I can actually turn my group and sort off. If it wasn't visible before, that's how you can turn that on and off, by just toggling that switch. Okay, and I'm actually going to save my report at this point, and I'm going to call it Business Analyst Master List. Okay, now you get to have the fun part of laying this item out. I need to have the Add Field option open, and I'm going to actually show all tables, and this shows all the fields that are available for use in this. And you may again want to expand this just to have them available. Now I'm looking in the book to kind of use this as a guide, is around page 355. First thing I want to do is up in the Business Analyst Number header, I'm going to add Business Analyst Number. And you may want to pull this down, just have a little bit of room to play with. For right now, I'm just going to pull this over into here. We're going to manipulate that in just a few moments. On figure 618, there's a variety of fields that need to be added. Something I'm going to do is just widen this to about 7 for now, just to have a little bit of extra leg room. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go down through here. I'm going to add the fields in that, which is Client Number. I'm going to organize them and lay them out later, so let's not worry too much about the layout or the formatting. Client Name, Street, City, State. And postal codes on the left. And again, we'll clean this up here in just a second. On the right, we have client type. Services needed. You may get, on this one here coming up, we may get a strange error, but that's okay. Amount paid, we'll see if we get it or not. When I drag amount paid, it may give you this error. Just go ahead and hit yes on that, and then current due. Now I want to show you a variety of ways to format this, and certainly take your time and make it look nice. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to highlight the left items, and I'm going to use under the Arrange tab, align. I can align items to the left, and then I can actually come in here and increase their horizontal and do a variety of things. That was a little more than I wanted to. I could also come in here and manually pull these and separate them. If you remember from before, there's a little handle in the upper left hand corner that allows you to pull the items separate. So if I want to pull city, and I'm actually going to do this way just to make it look a little bit nicer. And again, you can spend a lot of time doing this. I'm not going to do a lot now because I want to get to the other parts, but I'm actually going to do this and align the left of those, And then I can, since these are now broken apart, I can align the left of those. And that makes that look nice. So I can do the same thing with these guys here. Align the left of those. Align the left of those. Now you might think the spacing's kind of off on this, and indeed the spacing may be off on this a little bit, but let's do this. Let me pull this up. There's another option under here called spacing. I can make the vertical equal, and I can also increase the vertical or decrease the vertical, and that's the space between the fields. You may want to do the same thing up here. And it doesn't have to be exact, but you know, depending on who you're, who's going to be viewing this, you may want this to, you know, shine and stand out a little bit. So I now have that set up like figure 618, which again you can spend a lot of time on that. Entirely up to you, but you know, the nicer the better. Okay, next one I'm going to do is I'm going to actually change a couple of things. I'm going to come up here and change this just by coming in here and typing. This should be renamed to client number. And the other one up here is going to be changed also, and this will be called analyst number. Okay, and again you can do the same thing here, move these around if need be. For now I'm relatively happy with that. Okay, the next item we're going to do is up here in the header is I'm going to add, and I'm going to go under to the design tab and add a text box. The text box is going to have a label and then an area where items can be connected. For my label, we'll get that in a minute, but over here in the where it says unbound, I'm going to type a formula. The formula is found on page 359, and make sure you type it exact. First time I did this in practice, I forgot to put the equal sign, and it gave me a warning inside square brackets. And notice I'm not capitalizing this. They do in the book. Just want to emphasize you don't have to capitalize, but you need to separate items with ampersand or and signs. The book says you can use single quotes or double quotes, and what that does, that just puts a space between the two fields. Spelled name wrong. That's not good. You do have to spell them right, even if the capitalization is not right. Okay, and what that will do is that will bring in the first and last name fields. Now over here where it says, mine says text 11, yours may say something slightly different. I'll put analyst name. Okay, and that will have the name of the analysts in there. And then using the same idea, I'm going to come down here and add another text box. And this one's going to actually be another formula. And this formula is found on page 360. And again, equals, in square brackets, amount paid plus current due. Again, if you get an error message, check to make sure you're typing it correctly. The brackets are in there and everything. And the text box here is going to say total amount. Alright, now, just to kind of get a preview about where this looks, first off I'm going to save it. And I'm still in my design. I can come in under the views, and I can actually go to print preview and look at the layout of my items. Now I have the analyst name, the first and last name, and the other fields are filled in. Now if I need to widen or narrow some things, I certainly can do that. If I hit close preview, and I can always go between different views by using my view button here. If I need to go back to design view, which I don't because I'm already in design view, I can do that now. But that's how I can lay out this first part of this report, and we're certainly going to spruce it up and do some things with it here shortly.